Hello, it's me, MC of Healthy by George. So I'm coming to you today because, it's now been 9 months totally since I started my weight loss journey with a GLP1 GIP drug, tirzepatide. And frankly, I really am astonished how close I am to the goal I had set for myself to find by June 30th. And it's just encouraging me to continue to incorporate tiny, small steps like the Atomic Habit book suggests. I read the Atomic Habit. I'm kind of blanking on who the author is right now, but what's so wonderful about it is he talks about flossing one tooth. I don't think I'd ever have the patience to just floss one tooth. But I think for me, incorporating kind of weightlifting, I'm thinking of it as far as a flossing one tooth kind of experience. So I'm going to be using either 30 seconds or 1 minute to incorporate daily weightlifting. Because frankly, for some reason, I just have a barrier. I'm not sure what it is. So I've put some timelines in my calendar and I'm setting the alarm, and when the alarm goes off, I'm just going to be like Pavlov's dog. I'm going to get up and do 1 minute of weightlifting, because what I really learned in this past week listening to Peter Attia's podcast is that we really lose muscle mass tremendously as we get older, and that really is what contributes to frailty. And I don't want to be someone frail in my 70s and 80s. I want to be someone who is moving and strong and still functioning. And, maybe that's a dream, but I think that's really something to aspire to. And so I'm really working hard to get in touch with the feelings around that, so it will motivate me and inspire me to work on developing more muscle. I think between listening to Peter Attia's podcast and the Huberman Lab, he had a woman today that was talking about skeletal muscle as well, and how we really have to focus on what gives us support in our nutrition for skeletal muscle, which is eating protein. That's the other thing I'm working on that's not so successful, but I'm getting better. How to get 90 grams to 100 grams of protein a day. It's not simple. And the GLP-1 drugs really do decrease your appetite. So I've incorporated drinking a protein drink, which is much easier. So that adds about 30 grams, and I put some collagen in it, and it feels like a treat in some ways. So, between that and muscles, I think that's a good goal for the next 6 months. To see where I'm going to be, maybe in 3 months, around September, check in with you guys. And then at the end of the year, let's see where I am. I'm really working diligently. One of the things that I truly want to accomplish is muscle growth. I want some muscles. I want to feel more stable. I want to feel more balanced. I want to feel a firmness in my body, which I don't feel right now. Right now I'm feeling a very jiggliness in my body, and that's okay. I don't mind being a little jiggly because I'm having some weight loss, but I would like to firm some of this up. So how are you working towards your weight loss journey? How are you taking small steps every day to move forward towards your outcomes? I know for me, the big example was the research team I work with and have worked with for a very long time. We focused on a problem that musicians have, which is called music dystonia. And music dystonia is a really troubling problem for musicians because it impacts fingers and arms. So if you play the piano or the flute, or you are a drummer or a guitarist or a banjo player, or any of those things, and I'll put a link to the article in the show notes, but this was truly a very amazing study, and I'm so happy to see the results of our study, which were very positive. We used a drug called botulinum toxin, which is commonly used for wrinkles. And, that's kind of nuts, but we use something where if you gave someone who has this musician's dystonia problem, which prevents some professional musicians from continuing their career. So if we give that to them in very small doses over a 2, 4, 6-week period, it showed that we could really help someone who has musician's dystonia improve, have better rehab around their dystonia, and get back to playing as a professional musician. So we're excited to have that out in the world, because maybe this will help insurance companies give them coverage for this treatment. Maybe this will help people who don't know about this treatment discover this treatment for people who have musician's dystonia. So I'm just so happy that this is something that helps people like me, a musician, except I don't play the piano, I'm a singer, although I do play the piano some. But truly, I can't imagine waking up one day and having some kind of problem like musicians with dystonia do, because what happens is their fingers just have a life of their own. They go in all kinds of directions and they can't control it. And one of the things you need as someone who uses their fingers and hands for playing instruments is some kind of control over how they move. So it's a damage along the nerve endings is what's happened. And using a botulinum toxin injection, it kind of relaxes the muscle and from the nerve and allows that person to rehab those fingers, their hand, to use them like they've done before they had this problem. So I'm so excited that this journal is out, and we're hopeful that we will get some press on it. And I, it just shows you 10 years of taking small steps. And sometimes I feel like that's what my weight loss journey has been like. Multiple years of taking small steps. Yes, I have given up and thrown in the towel, but when I had my hip replacement in 2017, I really got serious about just doing everything I could to be diligent and continue to be mindful of what's going on with my body. Because so often I would just, I would just be some head walking around, and I wouldn't be conscious of my body. I wouldn't be conscious of how I'm using it or how it looks. I avoided the mirrors. I avoided taking a look at myself in my clothing. I just avoided it because it felt hopeless. And so with the new drugs, and I think that that's really what's so empowering, I'm feeling for the first time hopeful that I can start to look in the mirror and see the full reflection of myself. I can start to think about, clothing that I enjoy and really show off my figure instead of hiding. So I got a little emotional there because it's been a long journey. What can I say? And I hope if you've had a long journey of weight loss, if you'll share with me as well. This is something I will probably do until I pass away. I don't know if it's the scientist in me or if it is the person who's just so diligent. I've decided I can't give up. How about you? Don't give up either. Because one of the things that I really think is important is we have this one precious life. And who else is going to love us if we don't love ourselves so intensely? So that's my one message for you today is how are you loving yourself intensely? How are you showing up for yourself every day with those small little steps? Because that's what I'm doing too. So if you feel motivated, please think of subscribing. I'm here every Sunday talking about my weight loss journey. Every Thursday, I try to focus on a health issue that's come up in the news or that is something that I think women should be more aware of. So if you will be well, subscribe, click the like button and the bell if you want to know when the next episode is going to show up. Bye-bye, my friends. Be well.